okay, I may be misquoting this, but I've heard you say before, and correct me the parts that are wrong, but I want to hear your thoughts because out there in the genre, there's self-help, self-improvement, there's therapy, there's coaching, there's so many ways to go about things, and I've heard you say that you don't see no more my book, No More Mr. Nice Guy, as quote a self-help book. You see that differently. When you shared that with me, it kind of caught me by surprise. And I remember listening to you, and I thought that makes a lot of sense, especially coming from a highly trained therapist. So, what does that mean to you that it's not, in per se, a self-help book?
Hmm. Um,
Do you remember
well,
that?
well, I don't remember it. That definitely sounds like me, and and I know what I would mean if I said that right now. Although I'm not sure what I meant when I said it to you then, so I can only guess. But I'll talk from where I stand with it right now, and I would say the same thing. And what I would mean by that right now is this: that your book really, it kind of nails a, a way of being in the world. It describes a syndrome, which is a kind of, to me, falls in the category of like, um, for those of you who are not psychologists, there's a book called DSM, and it's got something called personality disorders, which I think of not as disorders, but as orders, as organizations.
Mhm.
And the nice guy is a large scale personality organization that's designed to get you through life and get you what you need. Um, and your book describes it perfectly. Absolutely. However, um, as you point out several times in No More Mr. Nice Guy, a good idea is for somebody reading this book to go get a therapist, get
Mhm.
help, right? So it's not really self-help. I don't think that what we're talking about can be done from your book to the work itself. There's a missing step.
Yes. The way I always put it is, don't try to do this alone.
Right.
You know, you didn't become a nice guy in social isolation. You're not going to overcome being a nice guy in social isolation. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So I agree with you 100% that nice guys do. Oh, I can fix this myself. I can figure this out. We want to figure everything out. And as a therapist, you'd be the first to say, no, this isn't about figuring shit out. This is about letting go and about going deep. And
Yeah. Yeah, just to add to what you're saying, nice guys like to do it themselves because they don't like to admit weakness or ask for help. Because weakness points to an underlying sense of deficiency. And if everybody could see that, I would be ashamed and nobody would like me and they'd run me out of town on a rail and I would live in hell forever.
But mostly I won't get laid. That's what it
Well,
usually
yeah,
that's what it all comes down. I won't get laid. If
that's right.
anybody finds anything out about me that's less than perfect, I won't
I'm
get laid.
never getting laid again.
Never. Well, oh, I did once. Yeah, I think I remember that. So, all right, let's. You've written a book, so I want
Mm.
to segue into your book. So, what is the title of your book?
Mm. So, and I want to just pick up on segue, which is based on your, kind of coming from your last question, which is, well, if your book is not self-help, how do we get, not everybody can afford great therapy, or not everybody can afford or find a therapist who is trained in what you teach.
Hmm.
There's an increasing number, but do they all have openings? Are they affordable? Are they geographically accessible? And so I wrote a book to help guys get from here to there, particularly guys who can't afford therapy or want a kind of a program that they can work on with their therapist or with other guys. And the book is called No More Mr. Nice Guy, The Hero's Journey. a step-by-step guide to becoming an integrated male. And it takes the kind of the structure of Joseph Campbell's hero's journey
Mm-hmm.
and applies it specifically to nice guys and nice guy problems. And it takes the nice guy step by step and through, I think, 13 chapters, with each one taking him a step farther towards a sense of mastery, integration, authenticity, openness, genuineness, assertiveness, and a kind of a sense of contentment about his own masculinity and
I, I
comfort.
I like all those traits.